Will Arnett is back.
Where'd he go?
Hello, and welcome to HAZMAT, the only show that will stop at nothing to achieve our destiny, okay? It is what we were born for.
I'm not that fussed.
I will stop at nothing until I achieve the championship, the tip top of this tournament.
I don't have it in me to just put that amount of effort in. I'm good where I am, thanks.
I have a really little mustache.
I don't.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Harry.
And this is the monthly thing, the part of the show where we talk about every new film or series we watched in the last month, whether we recommend them, what we thought about them, and how we felt watching them.
I don't feel anything anymore.
Well, we're going to try a little bit of a different format today, actually, so that will become clearer as we go through the episode. We still might get into some spoilery territory here and there, but we'll be recommending up front, and you can just pick and choose which ones you want to listen to, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes, folks. Let's talk about some movies that came out in December or January. First up, Marty Supreme. A Supreme recommend from me.
Yeah, and a recommend for me, despite the fact initially I thought this was going to be some kind of hamburger.
That is quite misleading. The latest from Powerhouse, Mr. Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
Always excited to see what he's been doing. You can pretty much exactly track my growing love for Timothy over the last 2 or 3 years in our various reviews. I've praised him more and more as we've gone on because I think he's doing some exciting stuff, and this is no different.
Your interest in Timothy Chalamet is like the opposite of wages.
It's going up.
Wages stagnate, but our interest in Timothy Chalamet just keeps on rising.
It's going up.
I think he's like got a contract or something where he has to be in good movies a certain amount every year.
Yeah, and he has to be nominated for Oscars for all of it as well.
Doesn't necessarily have to win, but
you got to at least be nominated. Come on, it's part of the course now. But yeah, sort of structured a bit like a biopic, but not actually a biopic, but sort of. It's like vaguely based on some old ping pong player, I think.
Yeah, like loosely based, and then just a lot of creative liberties taken just to kind of like iron out the best parts and put together an engaging story around a subject that probably most people go into thinking is not that interesting, but somehow, you know, takes a sport that I think is probably one of the more sort of dull to watch and then just completely transforms it into something exciting and full of tension and just emotional release by the end of it.
Yeah, the kind of passion that the character has for it, I think, is so electrifying to watch. That it's kind of less about the sport as it goes on as well. It becomes a bit more of a crime, like caper.
It's a
thing.
crime caper, and it's about his desperate attempts to get money to fund his love of the sport. But it's that sort of like the anchor of what's tying everything together. But it just goes off on so many different tangents.
Yes, so much happens in this. It's just his like increasingly desperate attempts to achieve this one goal he's got in mind, and he will stop at absolutely nothing to get to kind of the top of this sport. Yeah. And just like I say, it's just so great to watch. So much fun. It has that safety energy of being so frantic and anxiety inducing at times and kind of balls to the wall non-stop. And I think Chalamet really manages to pull this train along quite well. And the surrounding cast as well, we've got some fun faces here. Tyler, the Creator. Yeah, he was great. He wasn't in it too much, but the scenes he was in were really fun. He came and did his thing. There was Kevin O'Leary, which is apparently some guy from Dragon's Den in Canada or something, I think.
Whatever they call it.
I think it's still Dragon's Den in Canada.
Yeah,
America's
Shark Tank in America, and then
I think he's specifically the Canadian one.
I feel like it should be called something else.
Like Bear's Cave.
It should always be a different animal depending on what country you're watching it in.
Yeah, like moose. Where do moose live?
Yeah. Just in the woods.
Canyon. Moose Canyon.
Fucking down in the woods.
Do you watch Moose Canyon?
That's too close to meat Canyon.
Yeah, that's true. That could cause some confusion. But yeah, honestly, I mean, yeah, I didn't know who he was going into this. I would have assumed he was just an actor that's been around because he was sort of great in this like antagonist role throughout, and some crazy scenes came out of that as well. And then Odessa Zion, who is kind of one of the girls of the moment at the minute, and she was just great in this as well as a little supporting actor. I forgot the term there.
And you forgot the term. Which term? Supporting
actor.
Just a little, just great as just a little guy, you know.
Just one of those, one of those side piece.
No, I think they were just. I just think they were a great little guy.
It's like the main,
very funny little guy.
It's like the main actor, but they're just a little guy.
I know, like an imp. Like an imp. You know what I'm talking about, like a gnome.
It's like above an extra.
They wouldn't really put a gnome as the main guy.
Down from a.
They wouldn't put like a gnome.
Leprechaun.
A goblin.
Ghoul. But yeah, all in all, fucking great film altogether for me.
Yeah, I think strong, just well put together, like warrants the amount of nominations it got.
It's definitely one of those kind of Oscar buzz things. You knew it as soon as you saw it, that it would be that kind of film, but it does definitely deserve it, I think. Yeah. Earns it for sure. It's a pretty dense film, like I say. There's kind of a lot that goes on, but all of it is just it's at breakneck speed the whole time. Yeah, I don't really have that much more to say on it, really. It's genuinely really fucking good.
It was just a solid all-rounder.
Yeah, it's an all-rounder. It kind of hits all the balls, ironically.
Oh, don't say balls.
It hits all the balls.
Don't say balls.
Ironically.
Stop saying balls.
It tickles all the balls.
Stop saying balls.
This film tickled my balls.
I hate the amount of time they say balls in this.
They do say balls a lot. The orange balls.
Marty Normal Balls.
That's me when I've been on the nudist beach too long. Yeah. Huh?
That was his nickname, I think. Marty Normal Balls.
That's me when I've stuck my balls in a packet of Wotsits. Sorry, what did you say?
What?
Huh?
The orange balls.
The orange balls.
Orange balls.
That's me when I've dunked my balls in like an orange juice. What? Sorry, what did you say?
Balls. The Marty balls.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Marty was the zebra.
Next up, Rental Family, starring Brendan Fraser.
Everybody's favourite.
And a lot of Japanese actors.
Everybody's favourite.
What a sweet, wholesome recommend from me.
Yeah, what almost a surprising recommend. I thought this was just going to be like a sort of, like you said, just a very sweet, warming kind of tale, but I think it's a lot better than even that. It's
very layered. Felt very layered to me. Very heartfelt and very sincere.
Very nuanced.
Yeah, which is nice. It's kind of nice to have that without the kind of tongue-in-cheekness you get in a lot of stuff nowadays. Kind of nice to just get a flat out, like, this is going to make you cry, and then it's going to make you smile. And then it's going to make you do both at the same time, which is going to make you look deranged.
Freakish. Horrid. Yeah, I think with these kind of movies, it's very easy to venture into the territory of it becoming like forced. Like the wholesomeness of it becomes a bit forced, like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, you can get a bit eye-rolly sometimes.
A little bit too much in the cheese, the corniness of it.
Yeah.
But I think this balances it well, specifically because I think the character is really well balanced. I think they don't present him as like overly sort of over the top optimistic and all sunshine and happiness. Like, he has flaws. He's initially sort of very reluctant to go through with the whole thing. We get a sort of idea into his whole his code of ethics, his moral compass that prevents him from initially sort of being all in on the concept of this whole rental family situation. And that sort of is where a lot of, I don't want to say like the conflict of the film, but like a lot of the sticky situations kind of arise from.
Yeah, he's a good character with flaws. He's kind of a failed actor.
Well, failed.
Huh?
He did the toothpaste advert.
That's true. And he did that weird pirate show.
Oh, the weird pirate show. Yeah, the pirate show.
Struggling actor, maybe. Yeah. Working actor. Struggling to find his next job. And that does make for quite an interesting watch, because he sort of feels like he's a bit above it for a bit, or like he feels like he doesn't really want to do this job that's kind of fallen in his lap, and then eventually learns to do it well, and he's kind of naturally gifted at it. It reminded me a lot of, it was a very sort of 2000s plot, like those movies that just, I don't know, a normal person finds himself in kind of a wacky situation, like a wacky premise, and just has to kind of deal with it.
Yeah, a lot of those movies, like their premises revolve around pretending to be someone that you're not.
Right.
Like that was a very popular thing. And,
yeah, we're bringing that back.
and this takes it to more of sort of a, like a moral dilemma of the ethics of, you know, how you're affecting people's lives by doing this. You're essentially like lying to people, but then the way he's presented this idea is that you're doing it for the greater good, that you're actually influencing and changing people's lives for the better.
Yeah, because some of the people that hire him want it as well, and are like almost lying to themselves sometimes to make them feel better. It's a bit like you could easily explore this premise in a much darker way. So it's interesting to do it in this very light-hearted, almost whimsical at times, like heartfelt storyline. Whereas like you could easily make this a psychological horror where things like start going wrong. So note that down, Brendan, for your next one. Rental Family 2.
Yeah,
and it's just really dark. It just pivots.
It's like what they were going to do with E.T.
Oh yeah, they're going to like go to his home planet.
It was going to be like a whole like horror movie. Was going to be like the sequel to it.
They should have done it.
Should have gone. Just do it.
E2.
Just do it. E2. Come on.
E2.
The name's right there. It's there waiting for you. Come on, Spielberg, get on it.
Brendan Fraser's really great at these sort of weepy man roles. You know, he's had a bit of a resurgence last few years. He did The Whale. He was in Killers of the Flower Moon, I think, towards the end.
Yeah.
And there was something else, but yeah, he's definitely on the way back, and it was just cool to see him in a leading role. And he's good at this making you cry stuff, isn't he? God,
which is surprising, like given where he initially rose to fame was essentially just doing these like goofy sort of action comedy type roles.
Yeah, the himbo kind of.
He was sort of the prototypical himbo in a way. I feel like he's kind of the originator of what everyone kind of looked at.
The main kid actor in this as well did a great job here. Always fun to see a child actor kind of keep up with the famous lead. And it's also just, I mean, it's a formula that has been tried and tested so many times of just like a friendship between, an unlikely friendship between an adult and a kid. Yeah. That kind of blossoms throughout the film and becomes really wholesome. And it gave it like, it wasn't like a big Hollywood ending like I thought it would be. It seemed like at one point they were really gonna make it like actually work, and he was gonna be her dad, but it did end of just being like maybe they'll see each other sometimes.
Yeah, he sort of like he catches up to her one time and sort of explains everything about why they were doing it, and he's just open and honest, and that was kind of sort of the message of the movie, was that people don't necessarily need like this fictitious figure in their lives. What they just need is someone to be honest with them and to have someone to listen to them. Yeah. And understand what they're going through. And that's kind of the message that's presented overall.
Yeah. Someone that will listen to them and just be like there. And even better if that person's Brendan Fraser.
If it's Brendan Fraser. Because he always understands.
Hey,
he gets it. He just gets it.
Can I order an uncle? My uncle just moved country and I really miss him. Could I order an uncle, please? And can it be Brendan Fraser specifically?
He's going to be Brendan Fraser.
Can you send the big white guy?
Also, can you make him dress up like a mummy?
Can he be like the mummy?
Please, but he's not dress up like a mummy.
He's not playing my mummy though.
He's not playing the mummy. He didn't play the mummy in the mummy.
No, he's playing my uncle. When he comes here, he's going to be my uncle.
No, but you need to understand, sir, that he didn't play the mummy in the mummy.
I know he didn't play the mummy in the mummy, but he's not going to play the mummy here either.
But you want him to dress like the mummy?
I want him to dress like the mummy.
Do you want him to dress like his character in the mummy, or you want him to dress like the mummy?
I want him both, as if he's his character in the mummy that is dressing up as the mummy. So kind of a two-layered thing. But when he gets here, he's going to be my uncle.
So we're going to have to go. We're cutting you off.
What?
We're cutting you off.
No, you're hanging up on me?
So we're cutting you off.
What?
So we're cutting you off. Bye.
Hello? Brendan? I miss my uncle. Sorry for spoiling that whole scene from the film, by the way.
That whole entire scene from the film plays out almost exactly like that.
Exactly.
I think if I remember. Which I don't.
We saw this weeks ago. But it was very good, and I enjoyed it, and it was wholesome and nice and weepy. I was weepy.
I was glassy-eyed.
Next up, is this thing on? Yep.
Check. 1, 2.
Will Arnett is back.
Where'd he go?
To the shop.
Oh, why?
Cigarettes.
That's what they all say, honestly, when they walk out on you.
But he's back.
I can't believe he actually came back, and he actually did go to get cigarettes.
He got cigarettes. This is a recommend from me.
I'm verged, it's a sort of it's a light recommend, I'd say, for me.
Nice. It's actually quite a strong recommend from me. So we're diverging a little bit.
Yeah.
Quite rare. That, I think.
Quite rare.
I don't know if we've ever had a not recommend and a recommend.
Unlike one of the ones we've both.
I don't know if we've ever completely gone different sides, but we've definitely felt like this.
We definitely will have, because we both saw Kind of Kindness, and I did not like.
True,
I did not like that.
He hated it.
Yeah.
He hated it. He doesn't like seeing Emma Stone naked.
Didn't like
it. Makes it bad.
It makes me flustered. It makes me sweat, and then I have to go change. I had to do that several times in the course of the film.
That's a classy woman.
Missed a lot of key scenes.
He did not understand what was going on. Okay, yeah, a bit of a stronger recommend from me. I really like this, but I mean, I'm such a fan of stand-up, and I've done like live comedy shit, so maybe I'm coming at it from a bit of a different perspective. But yeah, this is the new Will Arnett Bradley Cooper vehicle, directed by Bradley Cooper, starring Will Arnett, and weirdly based on the life of Scouse comedian John Bishop. Because he met Will Arnett at a boat party, which, like, what the fuck? What was going on that boat? And apparently he told the story of how he got into stand-up to Will Arnett, and Will Arnett was like, that's a movie, and I want to write it, and I want to play you in it. Or like an American version of you. But yeah, just the story of a guy going through a divorce that finds comfort in stand-up and performing, and the catharsis, I suppose, that comes with that, and the ability to process your emotions on stage in front of people. It's just such a different environment to anywhere else.
And he is genuinely funny a lot of the time as well. Which
he's great.
Makes me think that Will Arnett should just try doing more comedy roles.
Well, he's so good at sad comedy.
He never does comedy.
No, never.
Will Arnett. He never does it, but he's so good at it.
Yeah, so he needs to do more. He needs to be in a sitcom.
He needs to be in a sitcom, maybe like an animated show.
He could do an animated show because he's got such a good voice.
He's got such a good voice. I reckon maybe even like an animated film and a spin-off to an animated film.
Yeah.
I reckon he could do that.
Yeah, and I think he could probably voice Batman, right? He's got the right voice.
Mm-hmm. I reckon he could be in Insidious.
Oh. See, that's where we disagree in here.
And The Conjuring.
Oh, God.
Maybe even Moonfall.
Ooh. He did a show called Flaked on Netflix, which I loved, which no one fucking talked about. Went for 2 seasons, got cancelled. I liked it. Will. Okay. Yeah. I know you probably don't hear that from people. If I ever meet Will Arnett, I'm going to be like, yo.
I won't even say hello. That'll be the first thing I say. Is
Flaked.
I really like Flaked, to be honest.
And he's going to be so taken aback, and he's going to remember me.
Huh?
What? I barely remember that.
Who are you?
What the
get
fuck
out
is
of my
Flaked?
Dressing room.
He did a show on Netflix. It was like a comedy drama.
You need to get out of my dressing room.
You were playing
right
like a
now.
slacker. He owned like a
you
furniture
need to
shop.
Get out of my dressing room.
It was all about the trials and tribulations of you life in LA.
Nobody is supposed to be
Struggling
in here
guy.
right now except for me.
Come on, Will. I loved it. I know it was cancelled.
I'm
didn't do very well.
calling the cops.
Oh, it was so good.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't, please don't, Will. Just give me a hug. One hug.
Get away from me.
Just a fist bump.
Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. I'm going to hit you with a frying pan.
Actually, where'd you get a frying pan from? Why is there a full oven in your dressing room?
I reckon he's a big star.
Yeah, you'd have a kitchenette. You'd have a
He's a big
kitchenette.
freaking star.
But yeah, good shit. Enough about Will Arnett. Laura Dern's in this. God.
From Jurassic.
God.
From the Jurassic period.
She's so hot.
She's so old.
Oh my God, she's so hot. I can't take it anymore. No, she's fantastic in this as well. She's in it a lot more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more about his stand-up journey. It ended up being more of a background to them dealing with their relationship. That was much more in the foreground than I thought it was gonna be, which I found cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the supporting cast, Bradley Cooper, his funny little role here was great as well. Little director's like side character going on.
Another struggling actor.
Another struggling actor, yeah. And he didn't have to wear a big nose for this one, gladly.
Didn't have to.
So, good job.
Another struggling actor who they make a point of their big breakout role being a cowboy show.
Who was the other one?
I think his whole thing was like a weird detective cowboy thing, wasn't it? In Rental Family, it was like,
oh yeah, you got the call at the end.
Yeah,
yes, that was it. Yeah, I'd forgotten that detail. He was about to make it and then chose not to.
And then chose not to.
Bradley Cooper, however,
Bradley Cooper sold out. Sold his soul to the Texans.
Stole the hat. But yeah, I love this. I loved. You know what? I really like Bradley Cooper's directing. I haven't seen A Star Is Born or Maestro, so this is my first exposure to Bradley Cooper's directing. I really enjoyed it. Very intimate, very handheld. Exactly the kind of style I like. Really intense close-ups and a lot of shaky cam. You're really in the room with the characters, and I really love that style. Yeah, and especially the on-stage sequences as well, where he's pretty much delivering it down the barrel at certain points. I just thought were cool as well. Yeah, he's got a good camera technique, that man. I'm assuming it was him holding it.
It was just him doing it. He did everything. He did everything. Yeah, he was trying to push Will Arnett out of the scenes at some point. He was just like, "I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Take your shirt off.
Seriously,
take your shirt off. Will, I'll do it." Yeah, I think cinematography wise, great. The only reason it's a less recommend for me, I think, is sometimes it was a little bit style over substance, especially during the sort of the middle ground, like the second act. It does tend to drag a little bit. It takes longer than it should to get to whatever point they're making or wherever it's going. In fact, there's just times when you're kind of watching it and you don't know where it's going, but not in like the good way.
Right.
It's not like you don't know where it's going as in it's keeping you on your toes and making like, but it's you don't know where it's going as in why, like you're thinking what point are they trying to make?
Why are they here?
Why are they? Why is this necessary? We don't need this right now.
See, I enjoy that style, so I guess that's the difference. I just love that kind of meandering thing. I love films that meander and wander and explore different avenues, ones that don't necessarily go all the way. I don't necessarily need every scene to be really integral. And I thought, I quite liked the kind of casualness of it. I think that the camera really added to that because it was so kind of loose and in and out and stuff. There was points in this where it just felt like we're just kind of here hanging out with them. So actually, weirdly, that's kind of an element I enjoyed about it. So
I think it's difficult with film because you have to approach it from both directions.
You got to find a balance in there. There can be too much of that for sure.
Yeah, because like the whole thing with the actual writing side of things is, if it doesn't add to the story, cut it. But like with actual cinema, you can explore those sort of things and just do. It's finding the avenue that works the best. It's one of the hardest things to pull off, I think. But
yeah, definitely, because I mean, it depends. Like, I'm just not a plot guy, which sounds weird, but I am a much more like vibes sort of. That's what I look for. Is I'm looking for characters and vibes that I like. I don't necessarily care what the film's about, where it goes. That's kind of a nice through line on top. But yeah, it can be really hard to find that balance because you do need to keep it engaging and keep an end goal in mind, or the character needs to go through some sort of development. Otherwise, it can just kind of melt into too many, just kind of a wispy smoke of cinematography and style. But no, I like the way they did it. I think. I like it was sort of chill. I like that it didn't really do the classic, there's films about stand-ups and things that do the classic, they bomb. And that's kind of just embarrassing to watch and stuff. There was less of that. It wasn't really about that. It was more about him falling in love with this art form and learning how to craft jokes and hanging out with other comedians. And I guess just as someone, I have written lots of comedy and like, I'm fascinated by how other comedians' brains work and stuff. So I find the scenes that other people probably find boring when he's hanging out at the bar with other comedians and they're talking about jokes. That's like where it was getting really good for me. I was like, yes, yes, teach him the ways. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just really appreciated a lot of it.
I guess the thing is, like, when the crux of your movie is, like, essentially revolves around a relationship between two people, there isn't really an end point.
Yeah.
You, like, if it were a Hollywood, like, typical Hollywood kind of movie, it would be, you know, the story of his rise to fame, and, like, the last scene would be him playing, or like performing some big fucking comedy venue, and like everyone's smiling and he's smiling. He's like, finally he's found like his happy place. And but no, it was more about them sort of like rekindling what they initially sort of fell in love in the first place about.
Well, it was that line of what was it? I wasn't happy. I wasn't not happy with our marriage. I was unhappy in our marriage.
Yeah, I was unhappy in our marriage. I wasn't happy with our marriage. Yeah.
We butchered that, but it was in the trailer. So look at the trailer. But yeah, that's sort of the crux of the movie, is they had to separate to rediscover what made their lives feel full and enriched and worth living again, in order to re-find each other and kind of fall back in love, and just the struggles that came of that, and learning to appreciate life with each other. And they had to experience life without each other again to figure that out, I guess. So yeah, it ended up much more about their relationship than like his career. Like you say, if it was a classic like rags to riches story, it would have been way more about the comedy. But that was almost just a backdrop to them falling in love again. And obviously, Laura Dern had her storyline with the it was volleyball, was it? I think.
Yeah, she's played volleyball, like Olympic volleyball.
Yeah, and that was kind of a fun subplot. It had more airtime than I thought it was going to, but that was cool. But yeah, all in all, I really love this.
Yeah, seeing Will Arnett in a Liverpool shirt, crazy image there.
Well, they had to get some references in there.
They had to make some
to the bish
to say
to the bish.
The bad bish.
The bad bish. I wonder how he feels about it. I hope he likes it.
He'll be fucking mad that Will Arnett sang the song wrong.
Yeah, he switched it off after that.
He's like, I'm fucking done. It's trash.
Never talk to him again.
Unrecoverable.
But yeah, cool. I think it's the closest we're going to get to a John Bishop biopic, so that's a lot of fun. I don't think there's a lot of British comedians that are going to be getting biopics.
No.
Peter Kay, maybe. He's got like an interesting story, I guess.
No, next up we're getting Jeremy Allen White playing James Acaster.
Yes. And I was ready to eat apricots. Next up, No Other Choice.
The film, I keep getting its name wrong every time I go to talk about it.
Do you keep calling it There Is Another Choice?
No, I whenever I think about it, I go to say Any Means Necessary.
Any Means Necessary. Yeah, this is a recommend from me. I think this might end up being the opposite of Is This Thing On, in terms of our recommendations. Because it's a bit of a lighter one for me.
No, I'd say a lighter recommend as well, yeah.
I wasn't sure if you felt stronger about it. When we come out of the cinema, we don't talk. We just ride the escalator in silence.
Get in the car, drive home
in silence,
eat at McDonald's,
and we forget about it. So that it's a surprise.
So that when it comes back, we just stream of consciousness.
So when the McDonald's comes back,
yeah, we're sick.
Too many Big Macs. I ordered 5.
Too many Big Macs.
We need some more fries in here. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's talk about No Other Choice.
Oh, we're trying to put it off because everyone's going to be real mad that we didn't like it as much as we should have.
This is a big one. Snubbed for all the Oscars. People are mad. Everyone loved this. Yeah, the latest from Park Chan-wook. Decision to Leave, Old Boy. Lots of big Korean films. And tell you what, I love his directing style. Just insane. Really interesting, very unique. Camera shit in this I've never seen before. Like, it would just be a conversation and then it would just go like just kind of spin around and do something.
It's like it's like back in the day when you'd make PowerPoints at school and you use the custom path tool.
Yes, and you just go fucking
and you
mad.
Scribble all over the fucking screen.
He was just doing that the whole time. It made for some insane, really interesting, unique stuff in here, which I very much enjoyed. I don't know, I think maybe it was just a bit slow for what the concept was, or, I enjoyed the plot for what it was, and I liked what it was saying about the job market and about AI taking over as someone who has experienced that firsthand. and I'm definitely not mad about it.
I'm
still.
not bitter. That's not affecting my opinions on this film.
But yeah, I liked what it was portraying and stuff. I don't know if it was just my expectations were so high. Like, everything I've seen about this has been people like, this is the best film ever. This is the best film I've ever seen in my life.
But even like not seeing any of that, I think just from the trailer, seeing the trailers for it, I kind of went into it thinking like, yeah, this looks like exactly the kind of thing I'd really like. And maybe that did set expectations higher and why I didn't like it that as much. Similar kind of reasoning in a way. It just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere at sometimes. And I feel like it's more noticeable with this specifically because of the plot they're going with.
Yeah, because it's plot heavy.
It has a clear end game and a clear end goal.
We know what he's doing, we know what he's trying to do, we know what he's trying to achieve. And so on the path there, all this other stuff is going on. Yeah. And it's like, what are we getting back to this? Like, what the fuck? It seems like it's going to be a cat and mouse thing between him and the detectives, and he's going to keep bumping off people. But I think structurally, it's just really weird. Like, he keeps failing to kill people. He doesn't seem to show any sort of remorse for any of the deaths. I don't know. There was a bunch of elements here that didn't quite click for me, I think.
Yeah, similar kind of thing to the Smashing Machine is just even when tensions hit their high point, like, the pacing never changes, the character's demeanor never changes. He just sort of bumbles his way through the movie, and never. But like, even there's certain shots where like they're highlighting stuff, or like with the like the blanket hanging out the boot of the car, and like the like loose dirt, and just all these little clues he's left behind. But it never sort of ramps up the tension, and he never sort of acts more desperate or more stressed about it.
Yeah, it sprinkles a lot of little elements and red herrings and things, I suppose, which is what you do in these sort of crime caper sort of things. You know, normal person pulled into a world of crime. It was sort of trying to do a lot of that stuff. But yeah, just a lot of it didn't seem to come back in any sort of satisfying way. His son like saw him murdering someone, and I don't know, maybe it's just the demeanor of the characters. You know, the Korean culture is very different to ours, and very different to Western ways of doing things. So it's like the sense of humor is a bit different. There was a lot of comedy in this.
I did quite like a lot of the dark comedy.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny moments. But I think maybe just, I don't know, some of the emotional beats get a bit lost in translation sometimes. But I mean, that's not the case probably though, because it's like, you know, we've watched plenty of Korean and world cinema and stuff, and that's never really an issue. But yeah, I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on what it was here.
What I will give the movie credit for is I think the paper metaphor is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic about the different layers to it, because they kind of associate the workforce with the paper industry, in that they talk about the cycle of it, of like planting trees, and then they take years to grow and develop, and then once they're cut down and made into paper, they're just disposed of and replaced.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exactly what happens. They spend years in the industry, and then it's just, you're gone, replaced. And also kind of the concept of paper being kind of this thing that can be anything.
Yeah.
You use paper as a material, you can make it into something, you can draw on it, you can create whatever you want with it. But it's really, all of these people are stuck in the opposite way of it's just one thing. They keep repeating this whole philosophy that where it's like, can't you get a different job? Can't you go do something else? It's like, no, it has to be paper. Paper's my whole life.
This is all I know how to do.
It's all I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, that was all really good.
Thank you.
That's my contribution.
Thank you.
You said it all. You said it all. I can't add to it. Yeah. I liked a lot of this, and I enjoyed watching the film. It maybe just didn't reach the height I was expecting, but hey, that's on me. Okay.
That's on me for being unreasonable, having unreasonable expectations. I'm sorry.
For having a well respected director and a well-known actor and a lot of praise for this film. All of that going into it.
All of those external forces, that's on me.
They were pressing down on me like the garbage compactor in Star Wars.
You can't say that.
Do you like that reference?
No, because you didn't see it. So it feels...
I've seen that one.
Feels shallow coming.
Isn't that the first one?
No, it's the fourth one.
You know what I fucking mean.
Fuck you.
You know what I
fuck you. Yeah, so good, but not great.
Good, but not great.
is
nearly there. Very nearly there.
Yeah, a lot of great
lot of cool
elements,
stuff.
a lot of great elements, but just doesn't gel. I don't think.
Yeah, bits some spare parts here that maybe could have been left on the cutting room floor. Don't know why I said it like that. So here is where our new format's going to come into play. So instead of just going back and forward with our solo picks that we've seen for the month, we're going to go in little groups, and I'm going to recommend a few. You're going to recommend a few. We're going to go back and forward, and they're going to get less good, group by group. But you'll see what we mean as we go along. So come along on this ride of ours and see how you feel. The first one I want to recommend is HAZMAT, another big awards buzz film. Love this. I talked a little bit about it in our Oscars video, but boy howdy, this film destroyed me emotionally, physically. When I went to see this, there was a man in front of me with his daughter and was full on sobbing by the end of it, and I was nearly there with him. God damn. The emotion of this movie is high. The latest from Chloe Zhao, Paul Mescal, Jessie Buckley, two of my favourite actors at the minute as well.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He's not in it.
Well, it's his big thing.
He's not in it.
It's a big thing that he wrote, and it's been on Broadway for
Right, I see what's
years.
happened here. You're thinking of Tick Tick Boom.
That's it. That'll be it. In the Heights.
In the Heights. Yeah, Jessie Buckley's performance in this specifically, she's getting all the praise in the world and absolutely deserves it. Just incredible stuff. Sorry, I said all that. I was pressing a burp. I'm really trying to give this the gravitas and praise it deserves, and I'm about to burp. But yeah, overall, just a beautiful film. Thoroughly recommend this if you want to go and have a nice cry. I also want to recommend Sentimental Value. Again, another big Oscars buzz film. Renate Reinsve, who I've become a big fan of. I watched The Worst Person in the World recently, also directed by Joachim Trier, and she is just absolutely brilliant. Stellan Skarsgård is in this as well. Smattering of other Norwegian actors that are also up for awards, and Elle Fanning as well. Really cool mix, really nice emotional story about family in Norway, the impact that their dad's absence made on them, and it's a story about a screenplay, and it's very kind of meta in that way, and dialogue's beautiful, direction is really nice. Loved it. I also want to strongly recommend H is for Hawk as well, which I saw recently.
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke. This is the documentary about Maya and Ethan Hawke. No, this is based on the best-selling memoir by Helen MacDonald, who lost her father and dealt with the grief by adopting a hawk. It's such a warm, beautiful, emotional film. It really deals with grief and loss and how this woman dealt with that. And the catharsis and stuff that she got through training this hawk, and the impact it had on other areas of her life as well, like having this smelly hawk in a house while trying to maintain a career and a family life. And yeah, it's one of those classic kind of British pull on your heartstrings countryside kind of movies. And Brendan Gleeson as her dad as well gives a great performance, and some flashbacks here too. And her dad, because it's based on a real guy, he was a award-winning journalist photographer and used to hang out with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. So that's kind of he could have a film all of his own. But yeah, just a really interesting story and a really interesting rumination on loss and family and grief and happiness and life and birds. So yeah, those are my recommends for January. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
And out of those three recommends, my best of the month, I can reveal, is HAZMAT. Yeah. I'm going to put applause and stuff.
Put a gif of one man clapping. Just one guy. Do you remember ratemypoo.com?
Yes, of course. I've submitted to it many times. I still do.
Still do, love it.
There's not many of us left.
Love it.
But the community we're closer than ever.
But the community that is there, the ones that are left, are so
we're very tight-knit.
So passionate about it. I'll go through some of my recommendations from the past couple of months. The first being my best of the month pick. 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
I could have guessed.
Could have guessed. It was written in the stars.
A million miles away.
Oh,
message to the man.
Eric Turner. Yeah, just simply put, just takes everything that was great about that first 28 Years Later movie that came out last year, and just doubles down on it, turns it up to 11. Really goes crazy with a lot of the visuals. Ralph Fiennes gets a lot more screen time around. Absolute powerhouse performance from him. Especially just one scene that is set to an Iron Maiden song. Really, really fun.
Number of the Beast?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is. Yeah, because there's a whole bit where he's having to basically just pretend to actually be Satan.
Of course.
It makes sense.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It makes sense when it gets to it. Makes sense once it gets to it. It feels like it's going all wacky and all over the place, but boy, do they keep it grounded. Yeah, just really intimidating villains. I think they've... I'm not always a massive fan of zombie media when they kind of stray away from all the zombie stuff and focus on just the human elements. The Walking Dead tried doing that, but what they forgot is to make the human characters interesting. But whereas with this, they sort of stray away from it. They ask a lot of philosophical questions, a lot of moral questions, and they focus on the human side of things and just do it in a way that is engaging and interesting. And it's just a really good follow-up to the first one, and I'm very excited for when they finish this trilogy, whenever that next one's. I assume in like the next year or so,
next month or something. So
probably the way they're going, they just keep pumping them out. I wouldn't be surprised it was just the end of this year.
There's a new 28 Years movie every week now. It seems like, God,
it's the new paranormal. Every October we get a new 28 Years movie. My next recommend is Saipan, which is a movie about a very specific incident in footballing history. This is centering around former Republic of Ireland footballer Roy Keane and his sort of bust up with then Ireland manager Mick McCarthy at the 2002 World Cup. And it's just a really sort of interesting character to explore, I guess. I say character, obviously Roy Keane is just an actual guy. But he is a character in a way. He's a very, like, I describe him as like a Jekyll and Hyde type figure. In that you watch him in interviews, he is the most well-spoken, just very sort of firm in his delivery, is very intelligent, knows what he's talking about. And then you watch him as a player and the guy's a psychopath. Like, I can't imagine too many people getting more red cards than Roy Keane has throughout his playing career. But it's sort of this interesting exploration of that. Roy Keane is sort of maybe the only ever like proper world-class player that Ireland has ever produced. He's probably one of the best they've ever had. And it's sort of this exploration of him having this bust up and standing by his own sort of code of ethics, or not ethics, but his own values of saying, hey, like, the standards of this aren't good enough. Like, do you think Germany are subject to these conditions? Do you think France is subject to this? Like, we're playing in the World Cup just like every other team is. We should have good standards for our training. And he was sort of showing a lot more backbone than the manager was, but it never really picked a side. It kind of just shows both guys' side and where they're approaching things from, and lets you make your own mind up.
Objective reporting.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
It must be weird to have just like something happen in your life over like one period.
Yeah,
it
was like literally just days.
Yeah.
It was a few days.
And now they've made it into
and they've explored it as a whole movie with someone playing you, and Steve Coogan's there.
He's always in these things.
He's there.
Always in this. He's at the scene of the crime every time.
My last one, probably a lighter recommend, but I will always recommend going to see the first movie, like a directorial debut. And this is the directorial debut of Mark Fishback, or as people know him, Markiplier, the movie Iron Lung, based on the video game of the same name. Really, really interesting movie. You could tell this was like a product of passion, made on, I think it's quite a small budget. I think it was about $3 million, and made
Pennies.
Substantially more than that in the box office. And I feel like there was a lot of controversy about it being like removed from like the charting websites and stuff, even though it was charting above stuff. I think it's just like a lot of people said it's just big Hollywood trying to silence the indie film, you know.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
People were upset about it. And
yeah.
It's just because he's got such a passionate fan base, I think. A really interesting way of doing this movie, because obviously a tiny budget comparative to other films, This is essentially just a feature-length, like, bottle kind of movie. It's all takes place in this one ramshackle sort of submarine interior. And the only way you get any glimpse of what's happening outside and around it is through these pictures, like these X-ray pictures that it's able to take. It's sort of a very cosmic horror sci-fi type movie, like post-apocalypse kind of scenario, taking place on this moon that has an ocean of blood, and they're exploring that, trying to find out like what caused this apocalyptic event. Markiplier is both the director and the main star in this, playing a convict who's sort of forced to go into this submarine and do the bidding of his superiors. I'd say, like, cinematography, stylistically, really, really cool, especially with all the sort of constraints he had to go through. The one thing I'd say is this movie, again, sort of drags when it doesn't need to. You could probably trim about 20 minutes, half an hour off this, and it'd probably be a stronger narrative overall. I think that was more just a case of Mark wanting to be as true to the game as possible, because obviously, like, this is just a small indie game someone made, so it's got to be like a massive fucking compliment that someone was so passionate about it to make a full movie. Like, just tightened up with the script and the runtime. I think it would have been a lot better. Especially just because it suffers from that sort of video game to movie adaptation thing of certain things, such as being drip-fed lore, are more interesting to play yourself than to watch someone else doing.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing is, like, Markiplier himself, I think, is serviceable in this. He is quite good at times. But because we're sticking with essentially just one character the whole way through, maybe just someone with a bit more acting experience could have carried this a little bit, made it a bit more engaging, but...
Did he just keep looking into the camera?
No.
He's so used to it.
His whole shtick in this is just looking around and looking confused. But when it does ramp up, at least he puts the energy, he puts the emotion into it. So he's fine in this, but someone with a bit more experience, I think, could have taken it to the next level. But overall, I think pretty solid.
So I don't have any that I'm going to flat out not recommend, but I have a couple that are a bit lighter. Couple of kind of middle of the road sort of things, but that I wouldn't outright say were bad. First off, the history of sound. This is Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor, two of the hardest working men in Hollywood right now. You cannot escape them. No, I love both these guys, but this seems to have kind of got lost in the shadow of Paul Mescal's Hamnet and the Beatles stuff that's going on right now that he's doing next. It's sort of, this seems to have kind of got caught in the middle a bit and hasn't really been talked about much. And Josh O'Connor's in like 50 films a year, so again, it's just kind of slipped away. I did enjoy this, a historical drama based around World War One. These two guys meet and end up forming, a romantic connection, but obviously around that time, that was a big no-no. But it's also about the preservation of physical media, the birth of physical media and recorded sound, when they used wax tubes to record folk songs, and it's about them traveling around America collecting these songs off people, and it's just a beautiful exploration of that time period and the birth of this technology, against the backdrop of the complicated love between these two guys, but I think just for me the second half just sort of dragged a bit. It felt like it overstayed its welcome. Every time it felt like it was coming to an end, it just sort of kept going. Like there was a few logical endpoints. Where it does end up in the end, I did find really nice, and it's comes full circle in a nice, beautiful way. But yeah, I just felt it just very much felt its length for me, despite the nice premise. But I'll still recommend this if you like that sort of vibe and these guys. And the other one I'll sort of recommend is The Rip with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. In my eyes, those two lads can do no wrong. Good Will Hunting has been... That's the dream team, man. Good Will Hunting has been one of my favourite films for most of my life. And so I've loved these guys whenever they're together. This is the kind of film to watch with your dad. I watched this with my dad, and it was a great time. Just action, mystery, crime, sort of a bottle thing as well, a bit like Iron Lung. Like, it's all very much in one place, one night. Just about dirty money and betrayal, and there's some good twists here and there. But like I say, it's nothing high art. It's not like I wasn't. Whoa! No. It was a great, enjoyable time. Loved seeing these guys in action, going up against each other, and there's a fun cast around them. Stephen Yeun is in this, and Teyana Taylor as well. Again, this feels like it's kind of got buried behind her Oscar buzz from one battle after another, but still really enjoyed her in this. So just a general good time, specifically if you want to watch it with your dad.
Firmly John Wick coded.
It's very John Wick coded. So yeah, that's my light to mid recommends for the month.
Well, unlike you, because I'm not a coward, there are some things that I outright will not recommend. And considering I just talked about the difficulty of adapting video games to movies, it's going to come as no surprise that's what both of these are. So the first one that I wouldn't recommend is Return to Silent Hill. Absolute just disaster of a film from start to finish, which was always going to be a tough task for anyone to try and make an adaptation of this, specifically based on Silent Hill 2, which is not only people's favorite Silent Hill game, but a lot of people would say it's their favorite game, full stop. So there's always going to be high expectations if you try to tackle this source material. And I don't think it was ever going to work as, like a 2-hour movie, because there's so much like subtlety in the writing. There's so much just exploration in terms of like the psychological themes, the themes of guilt and, like delusion, and overcoming one's past. Like it's something that works when you explore it in a game, and it's a nice slow burn, and there's sort of multiple endings depending on choices you make. When you're making a film, you're trying to just speed run all of that, and we have one definitive ending that is just, I'm picking this to do it the way I want. There was a little bit of me that wanted it to be like passable at least, because it was it's Christoph Gans directing again, who did the original Silent Hill movie from like 2006 2007, whenever that came out. And that one's sort of, while not great, is like a pretty fun movie and is a fairly faithful adaptation, not to be confused with Silent Hill Revelation, which was the sequel to that and was just bad in every aspect. There was sort of like, it was interesting to see he was coming back to do Silent Hill again, but just gets every aspect of it wrong. But I disagree with people saying that like this isn't even like a fun bad kind of movie. I think it's like, well, it's not fun bad, but it's an interesting watch in that like it's kind of like watching a car crash in real time. You can't look away. Yeah, you can't look away, and like you can analyze every single aspect of what went wrong. You can kind of see it unfolding in front of your eyes as it happens. So yeah, stinky bad movie, don't like. And then the other one that I wouldn't recommend.
You could watch it with your dad.
You could watch it with your dad,
and then maybe you'd enjoy it.
You could watch it with your dad, and then your dad would say, I don't play.
What the fuck was that?
I don't play video games. I don't understand this. The other one I wouldn't recommend is, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Speaking of Markiplier,
where was he?
This isn't the one he did, weirdly.
Yeah, like the guy who kind of put Five Nights at Freddy's on the map, and didn't even try and get him in. They went with Matt Pat instead.
Oh.
Because Matt Pat makes a cameo in the first movie, and then voices one of the animatronics in this one.
But that's just a theory.
And another theory is this movie could have been good. But that was just a theory, because I don't think it ever would have been. I can't say anything. I can't. It's just
got nothing.
It's unexplainable how bad this movie is.
Did you like the first one?
No.
Okay.
I watched the first one, didn't like it, and then went to go see the second one the next day. It was like, I knew I wasn't going to like it, and I was like, so I wasn't surprised. At least I wasn't surprised. At least I wasn't surprised that I didn't like it.
You should have taken your dad.
I knew I wasn't going to.
You should have taken your dad with you.
Should have taken my dad. He's like, I don't understand.
It works every time.
What is a Freddy?
Five Nights at what?
What is a Chica? I don't get it. Yeah, not even Wayne Knight could save this movie.
Wayne Knight's in this.
Wayne Knight's in it.
What happened, Wayne Knight?
What happened, Wayne Knight? What happened to fucking Matthew Lillard?
Matthew Lillard.
You did the first one, then you came back for the second for a little bit, and then why? I don't think anyone should have agreed to do this. I think they should have read the script and said, yeah, no, you're not even directing this, actually.
This is not getting off the floor.
I'm making sure no one ever sees this. Fuck you.
I bet it's made a lot of money, though.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
So...
Of course it has. They're going to keep making these for fucking yonks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like The Strangers. I feel like all the new Strangers movies have been
They seem to be coming out
terrible, but they just keep churning them out.
Yeah. Who's making them do that? I mean, they can't even be making money, those ones.
No.
It's not even... At least Five Nights is popular, whether it's bad or not. The Strangers, I've never heard anyone except you talk about those.
No. Because even like the first one, like that people sort of like, it's more of a cult classic.
Are you going to go see Chapter 3?
I didn't see Chapter 2 because I hated Chapter 1 so much. But yeah, both these movies, bad times.
Well, tell you what, how about we transition into a good video game adaptation from the last month?
Oh, God, yeah, that would be nice.
And we'll talk about Fallout Season 2 first.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I know we didn't write it down in that order, but I just spotted that segue. And I had to grab it.
It just made the most sense.
I had to grab it.
Made the most sense.
Fallout Season 2 is out, folks. We've watched most of it by this point. And it's just great again. They did it again.
They keep doing it.
They did it again.
They keep doing it. And weird because it's like, I feel like Amazon is one of those ones where people are very sort of hit and miss with them. But yeah, Fallout is something where they've clearly gotten a crew together who are, passionate about making sure it's sort of faithful and looks the part, as well as being an engaging story and having interesting characters and good writing. And I think it's exactly what most people would have come up with if you'd like fans of the game series. If you'd asked them to come up with a series, wouldn't have been too far from what we ended up with.
Yeah, it stays true to the vibe of the games, but also doesn't alienate anyone that wouldn't know or hadn't played the games before. I think it's a strong enough story and a strong enough world that it does carry itself. Fallout is incidentally one of the few video games I know anything about. So, I do have that advantage, I guess. But yeah, I think it's just a strong enough show generally. I think the world is so interesting and it's specific enough to be interesting, if that makes sense. Like, sure, it's post-apocalypse, but, there's the vault things and they've got interesting creatures like the Death Claws and the ghouls and stuff. They've got some added spice on top of there. Like there's enough to explore.
Like the sort of retro future aesthetic of like the 50s kind of.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, all of that just adds up to, even though it's like a concept that's been done a lot in sci-fi and stuff, it's such its own aesthetic and world. And to find a story to explore within that, I think they did a great job of.
Yeah, I feel like there's not too much you could point to in that, with that whole aesthetic. Like, sci-fi doesn't tend to do that in terms of going, it's going to be the future, but it still looks like the past.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, how people dress and how they act and, like, how their technology looks. I think we talked about Alien before and how everything is still kind of, like, blocking that, but it's because of the time it was made, that sort of how things look.
They've chosen to keep that aesthetic, but back in the day it just was. Yeah, that is what they thought computers looked like.
So we're just okay, we'll just keep it as that because that's familiar.
Yeah.
And then even the newer ones are just like, okay, we're kind of locked into this now. We'll just recreate it as that.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Fallout is like a deliberate choice.
Yeah, exactly, and it just works bloody well. And hey, the cast are all great here. They've kind of been separated out again. Classic season 2.
Yeah,
you spend the whole first season getting them all together,
and then you
split them up again immediately. We've got to cut around. We've got to cut around the different stories, guys.
They kind of made sure the main three kind of had enough time where they did just a pairing. So we've seen all of them paired up in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we started off with Lucy and Max together, and then it became Lucy and the Ghoul. And then now we're back to the Ghoul and Max.
Yeah, nice to mix and match. But to be honest, all the characters are interesting enough to hold their own. Plots, even though it cuts around, Ella Pennell is just great. She's so fun to watch. Walton Goggins is great. as Mr. Ghoul. Mr. Ghoulman.
Bagul.
Mac's probably maybe the least interesting of the three characters, but I like that kind of brotherhood story.
The Brotherhood
kind
of
of
Steel.
cult thing.
Yeah, I guess it's kind
happening.
of like because his whole thing was just kind of being a soldier.
Yeah, he's just kind of the good. He's kind of the straight man of the three.
Yeah.
Like he's, but him kind of breaking out of that and leading like a revolution sort of thing. The vibe of those scenes are cool, I think.
I guess it's like I don't know if it's just the money being churned into it. I feel like they haven't missed with anything that they've shown us. Like everything's looked great. Like the Rad Scorpions have looked great. The Deathclaws have looked great. The Super Mutants, the Ghouls, they've all looked great.
And it's only been a year since season 1.
Yeah.
Like, what is every other TV show playing that?
What are they doing?
Fallout can make this in a year. Fucking Severance. It's in an office.
It just shows if you have faith in the product and you have people that are passionate about making it, you're going to end up with something good.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I haven't seen if it's been renewed for season 3. I'd hope so.
I'd hope so. And you think so?
It's
They have
fun.
enough
It's a
money
lot
to
of fun.
kind of just keep pumping into it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I guess it's weird to think, how do those things work? Does ratings affect whether it gets renewed? Because like all of their money comes from subscriptions. It's not really from...
They can see how many people watch them, I guess.
Yeah. But how does that make them more money?
Because we keep our subscriptions to watch the next one.
I guess.
Ad revenue.
That's true. That's true, actually.
We pay for ad free,
Yeah.
but a lot of people won't bother.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one.
The merch.
Also, they're Amazon. They could probably fucking ship $1 billion down the drain and not feel a thing.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos could burn $1 billion in his backyard.
Jeff Bezos can burn.
Which, by the way, is like an island in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Is his backyard.
Yeah.
Probably. And he could just burn
Jeff Bezos can burn.
and not give a shit.
That's not a threat, that's just a fact. Because if
Jeff
he goes
Bezos
out
could
to
burn.
the sun for too long without protection, or if he stands in a fire,
Bold.
and he's bold. And he's bold, actually.
And he's bold. Imagine being one of the richest men on earth, but you're bold.
Imagine that, Jeff. You can pay change over that, you don't.
Fuck.
Stinge.
Yeah, you might have more money than me. You might have a multi-billion-dollar, one of the biggest companies on earth, if not the biggest. But you're bold, mate.
And I bet he's got no friends.
I will always have more hair than you.
Bet he's got no friends.
Bet he's got
actually,
no
as well.
friends.
Bet he's got no friends.
I bet if the money disappeared, the friends would as well.
Yeah. Fake friends. That's all you got, Jeff.
But thanks for Fallout, mate. It's good. I enjoy it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, cheers for that, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm sure you signed off that personally. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Cheers, Jeff.
Do you reckon he just scrolls through Prime sometimes and he's like, what the fuck is any of this?
What's happening to my...
There's no way he's signing
What?
off personally on any of that shit.
He's never watched anything on Prime.
No, he's never opened it. He doesn't have a subscription. He's more of a Netflix guy. Yeah, Fallout Season 2. We're not doing recommends for TV shows anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah, when it's specifically for seasons. Like,
Yeah.
You're not going to say, hey, watch Season 2, but
Watch
it
Season
doesn't
2,
matter about
'cause
the
you probably
first
will.
one. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'd only say that with The Walking Dead. Watch Season 1 and 7.
And then, just not 2, 7.
No,
Just 1 and 7.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's
Skip.
7 is the good one.
Oh, okay.
It's either 6 or it is around there.
2 good seasons out of, 15? Something.
Yeah, roughly.
bad, is
Maybe 3 is okay.
Next up, we'll talk about Stranger Things Series 5.
Oh, yeah.
The final. Listen. What can we say about this that hasn't been said already?
I think, the entire internet has
had their say.
Has covered every aspect.
We're kind of the last to talk about this.
Yeah, I'll be the first to say I didn't hate it as much as everyone else did.
I didn't either. But I did watch it with my sister.
And I think
You got to
it's-
watch stuff with
yeah.
family members, folks. It makes it better.
I think it is specifically because I've numbed myself to getting invested in longer series and then having an unsatisfying outcome. It started with Lost. I'd say True Blood was probably in there. The Walking Dead, like I've said, Game of Thrones was a big one.
Yeah, of course. The big one.
So I've just seen it enough at this point that I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. See, I'm also like, sometimes I don't really think about TV show endings like that. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, that's the ending. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. The rest of the show was good. That's how it ended. Fine. Whereas some people like let's ruin the rest of the show. I can never watch any of it ever again. It's ruined it all. It's marred. It's tarred the rest of the show now.
I'm like, what do you mean? Everything, all that other stuff happened before
It's like
this.
that, it all still happened.
It also happened before. That all happened before this. It doesn't
still
make
good.
any sense. Your logic makes no sense.
But also, I think it's just the gap between seasons.
Yeah.
Like, each season, I'm not really a rewatcher much. So I didn't really like revisit any of the old ones before this again. So I kind of, I'll be honest, some stuff was going on. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. What? But you know, it's just that kind of thing. You just kind of lose interest, and I only really finished it because it's like at this point, might as well. Followed it for 10 years. I think kind of got to finish it at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe seasons 1 to 3, I was excited for when like a new one would come out.
Yeah,
and then 4, sort of, but like not as much, and then absolutely nothing for this. Like I had no sort of hype for it, and just because of the time between it, I just completely sort of forgotten that it was even happening. Really.
Yeah, it kind of just came out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh right, we're doing it."
Oh yeah, I forgot. We
yeah, it always just seemed like it was going to be down the line. But you know, listen, I think they should have killed off some people. Yeah. Personally, I think it's bad storytelling to have literally everyone survive. Like,
well, it's not literally everyone. It's kind of just they write characters in for the express purpose of being expendable.
Oh, sure, they killed off some people.
Yeah, but
they were people that did not matter.
None of the cast who have been there from the start.
Yeah,
it seems they write in new characters for every season just to die.
Yeah, because they can't let go of any of the main ones because they know they want. They're more bothered about people watching it for those characters. I bet they're pissed off they killed Eddie. Because everyone fell in love with Eddie.
Yeah.
I bet they were so pissed they killed him off.
Fuming.
I'm surprised they didn't bring him back in the Upside Down somehow. I don't know. But at
the same time, it would have been hard for them to bring him back, I think.
He's busy playing...
He's fucking exploded.
He's busy playing George Harrison now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's completely surpassed that show. But yeah, just like, in my opinion, Hopper should have stayed dead. Mm-hmm. Max, as much as I love that character... and her and Lucas, that's my favourite pairing in the show. Max, they should have committed. They cannot commit to anything, and that's the problem. And that makes the storytelling less impactful. Because anytime they do like a pump fake, there's a classic one this time of Steve falling off the fucking tower in the finale. Yeah. Cut to black for 10 seconds. Cut back, he's fine.
He's fine.
I felt nothing. Because I knew there was no way they were killing him off. If they'd killed off other big characters in the run-up to that, maybe I would have been on the edge of my seat for a second or two. But no, I was like, all right, he's fine. He's Joe Keery, they're not going to kill him off.
Yeah. And that was
He's got the biggest song on the planet, they're not going to kill him off.
That was a lot of I stopped looking at them as characters at points. I was so
they're the actors now.
Out of it and not invested that I was just saying that's Joe Keery. I wasn't saying that's Steve Harrington. I was like, that's Joe Keery.
Joe Keery and Charlie
Heaton. That's Natalia Dyer. That's fucking Sadie Sink. That's Gaten Matarazzo.
It's also got that classic thing that a lot of shows where the kids start as kids and grow up. Some of them just can't really act now.
and the time gap within the show is supposed to be only a few years.
Yeah,
it's like, those are
younger than
fully grown adults.
That's a classic thing. I think Noah Schnapp is not good. I think Millie Bobby Brown is not good.
No.
I think Gaten Matarazzo is good at that very specific thing.
Yes.
I can't see him doing any sort of other character. I think Joe Keery is fantastic. I think Natalia Dyer is fantastic. I think Sadie Sink is fantastic. I'm just going through them all now. Finn Wolfhard is fine.
Serviceable. I think if he plays his cards right, he'll have a decent career.
Yeah.
He seems to have expanded enough into other stuff that he's kind of an established name now.
A lot of them just want to be musicians at this point.
Yeah.
Caleb McLaughlin, great, he's fine. They don't give Lucas that much to do, really.
No.
They've
never. I don't think they've ever really given Lucas that much to do.
No, but I've always liked him, and him and Max is one of the only pairings I was genuinely invested in. I did like the kind of Max returning, that whole sequence. I did really enjoy that. I was quite invested. Yeah, just too many characters. Like all of them walking across the wasteland at the end. There's about 54 characters.
And
Yeah,
I think the biggest problem, and I know it's ironic for us to be saying it because it's kind of our whole thing, but there was just too much talking. In terms of the fact that it was like every single episode had a 10-minute sequence between characters just expressing their feelings and what they were going to do in the future and where it was all heading. And it's like, oh, at the end of all this, what are we going to do? And every single episode had one. Every single episode also had
here's the plan. This is the tower. This is us. We're going to go here. This is Vecna. A little figure. Little
Let me just throw in some vaguely scientific sounding terminology as well.
Roller tape. This is the car.
This is a wormhole. This is exotic matter.
Yeah. They did that a billion times. The big one is obviously the coming out scene. Handled horrendously, by the way. Could have been done way better. Why was he telling 50 people? Half of them did not care or know him.
I would have enjoyed it more if my prediction had come true, that everybody that didn't stand up and accept him and hug him at the end they were all the ones who died.
They were killed off.
They all died.
Vecna kills them off specifically.
Yeah, Steve gone.
Vecna's like, I'm the only one that can be homophobic to Will.
Hopper gone.
Murray gone.
Maya
Hawke's girlfriend.
Kaylee, thank you. You got one right.
Yeah, they got rid of her. Brought her back just to kill her off. Didn't care for that character.
I don't think anyone did.
No, well, that was just them trying to be like, that episode actually did matter. That one episode they were in actually did matter. So, fuck you.
I don't know if it's just because you watched a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff as well.
I watched Drew Gooden's video
on the behind the scenes, and it did seem very much sort of similar to how people said Game of Thrones ended, and why there were so many mistakes and errors left in.
Yeah,
in that they just wanted to finish it as quickly as possible and move on to something else.
It did feel like that.
Because I don't think anything ever came about it, but I think the thing was that the Game of Thrones showrunners were going to do a Star Wars project afterwards, and they just wanted to move on to that.
Oh, right.
I don't think it ever did, probably because fucking Disney saw how bad the reception to Game of Thrones was because of it. And no, we're not having it anyway. Yeah.
Duffer Brothers, they're forever going to be marred by this finale. But with all that complaining, there was some fun stuff here. Like I say, Max and Lucas. I always enjoy seeing Steve doing his thing. Yeah. Steve and Dustin, them kind of repairing their friendship was cool.
And even though I said even though I said a lot of the talking and stuff was dragged out too much, the second half of the finale I did really enjoy, wrapping everything up and seeing the where are they now and I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. I know Lord of the Rings does something very similar where it's just it's ending after ending after ending after ending, but when you have that many characters and such an expansive and long story, you kind of have to there's a lot of stuff you have to kind of cover when you come to the end of it, and I'm a sucker for it, and I did cry.
Yeah, but there was too many to do it for. That's the issue. If they'd killed a few off, we could have got that done in about 15 minutes. It took an hour.
That's what it all boils down to. Just we needed more death. That's all we needed.
Sorry, that's my biggest criticism.
A little more death.
I'm sorry. I know you care about these characters. I do as well, but some of them had to die.
Someone had to die.
To make it impactful.
That's my second biggest criticism. My biggest criticism was all the D&D stuff they got wrong. Will can't be a sorcerer. He can't be.
Oh. Why not?
Because Sorcerer class didn't come out until 2000. You can't do that. You can't do
Duffers,
that.
You've got one job.
Hey, guess what, Duffers? Back in the day, clerics couldn't cast Dimension Door. They couldn't do it. So don't write stuff like that. You know what? I'll say I hate Stranger Things.
Gingers were bullied way more back then. Why wasn't Max bullied all the time?
Hey, it's like you said, back in the day, when people were gay, it was kind of frowned upon in the 80s, so maybe everyone should have been mad at Will.
Yeah, what the hell? They were a bit too accepting for my liking. Ooh, what the fuck? Ooh.
What?
Do you want to have sex with me or something? What the fuck? Dude. To be fair, a lot of people were mad because they didn't get Mike and Will together canonically.
Yeah,
that's those people are fucking psychopaths.
Fizzled out, I think, is the
went
best
out with a
way of putting
whimper.
it.
Yeah. Start of the season I think was building really well. To be fair, a lot of people were complaining about the Henry house kids, that whole cave shit. I like that stuff.
Yeah, that was sort of when it was like,
that was an interesting
leaning back
new
into
concept.
the weird horror aspects, and I think the horror has always been one of the strongest thing it's had going for it.
Exactly. And it sort of found that again and found like a new interesting angle on Vecna. But I think just another thing is just the rules are so kind of wishy-washy as to what he can do. He's like reading minds, he's inside a mind, he can make people see things as well. It's like he's got all this shit going on. The lore is just a bit confusing at this point. But
he can summon like an army of demogorgons and demobats and demodogs to help him, but not during the final boss fight.
Yeah, none of them were there, and it's because the Duff brothers were like, people aren't going to want them there.
And that's the one thing that everyone's saying is that like this doesn't make any sense. They should have definitely been there.
But I think it's just hard. It's hard to pull off a show that has such a passionate fan base and a fan base that will spot mistakes and do know the details probably better than you would know yourself. There are fans that will remember things the Duffers won't even remember that certain characters have said. So to stick a landing like that must be fucking hard. But they did it quite sloppily. Sort of one wheel down on the runway.
Yeah.
They were off to one side. The wing kind of scratched the building a bit.
It's come off. Actually, one of the wings has come off.
But no one was hurt. No one died.
Yeah, it's one of those things where technically they landed it.
Yeah.
It's just that plane is going to be out of commission now for probably forever. That's going to have to be retired.
For scrap. So yeah, all in all, slightly underwhelming is probably the word, I suppose. Some cool stuff here and there. But just a generally underwhelming finale to such a high concept show that had so much build up to it.
Yeah, sad
way to go out.
Donald Trump tweet, sad, all caps.
But you know what? Exclamation point. But it's not over. They're going to do spin-offs for fucking decades for this. There's a whole world they could do there. It was originally going to be...
They don't want to do it.
They just don't
let
want to
other
do
people
it.
do it.
And I don't think the actors don't want to do it either. They've all washed their hands of it, I reckon. And good on them.
Yeah.
When I'm back in Chicago, I feel it.
It's the one good thing that came out of that thing.
Another version of me, I was in there.
Oh god, the mic is peaked.
I've ruined it.
We're going to have to redo the whole thing. Yeah, just so we can kind of at least end on a positive note.
Yeah.
End on a positive. I'll briefly talk about The Mighty Nein. This is a follow-up to The Legend of Vox Machina, which I talked about a bit last year. It is the animated series based on the second campaign that Critical Role put together, which I knew probably less about, but weirdly is the thing that originally got me into Critical Role. Because at least with the Vox Machina series, I'd seen a lot of the actual campaign of them playing it on Twitch or whatever they were streaming on. I haven't really seen much of the second campaign, but I knew a lot about the characters because the first thing that kind of got me into Critical Role was like all these little like fan animations and clips and stuff of the characters that put together. I think while the first season is still great, the first campaign is still great, it's very like high fantasy coded. It's the traditional sort of like ragtag group of adventurers up against like evil forces, like fantasy forces, dragons and vampires and whatnot. There's a lot more sort of political stuff, like it's a political intrigue storyline with this. They've gone woke.
And
hate it. I think the characters this time around are a lot more interesting. I think just because they already had the established fan base and a lot of support going the way, they're like, okay, we can go a little bit, push these characters a bit further in terms of like exploring who they are and what they're all about. So there's a lot more interesting stuff going on the personal side of things with the characters. And I think while the high fantasy stuff is still there, it is more about sort of like this impending war and like these different factions feuding with each other. And there's sort of this ancient artifact in the midst of everything. So I think similarly to 28 years, like it's just something that takes a formula that's already working and then just dials it up, takes all the best aspects of it and puts them at the forefront. So The Mighty Nein, absolutely recommend for me.
So that's January and a little bit of December, tail end of December. I hope you're doing well in these cold winter months wherever you are. It's raining and grey here in England.
In sunny England, sunny old England.
It's raining and grey here in sunny old England. And it's miserable, but we're fine.
Yeah,
we're powering through.
I think everywhere has been a bit miserable recently. I know they had over in the States, they had like snowstorms and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna make it through, guys. We're going to make it through. February's going to have some good films. And then before we know it, we're in spring. Like, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. We're just waiting for summer.
First day of spring's around the corner, and then once spring comes, summer.
You just got to think about summer.
Then we got the blockbusters up the wazoo.
Oh, don't say wazoo.
Sorry for saying wazoo.
Sorry, I apologise for saying wazoo. I apologise to anyone who.
I've ended it.
Apologise to anyone who was offended by his use of the term wazoo.
You're all woke.
You're all woke. Snowflakes.
I'll say what I want.
Snowflakes.
Thank you for watching HAZMAT, talking about every new film or series they watched in December 2025 / January 2026.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more stuff like this in the future, you can support the channel by leaving a like or a comment. You can hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you'll be alerted to all our more recent uploads. And as always, all of our socials will be listed down in the description.
And join us next time where I hit a tennis ball into the mouth of Paul Mescal.
I don't think you'd like that. And I'm going to paint myself up in iodine to prevent zombies from kissing me. Because I think that's what they do.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, because they've gone work.
They've got work.
They've gone work.
Zombies gone work. Zombies gone broke. 28 years later, the Woke Temple.
Oh, that's good.